Hello everybody and welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Red. So in between episodes I did some experimenting and I have figured something out that we're going to do in place of these patching facilities that we had here. If we remember from last episode, we had these packagers from factorization. They were working okay, however the tin packagers were constantly putting out the bearings that are used for railcraft gears, and that's not what we want. We want to be able to turn those ingots into actual blocks of material. So these packagers are out. I already went ahead and I reprogrammed the ME system to make a different type of packager, which is the auto packager from, well, the mod auto packager. And if we take a look at the recipe, it's still a fairly easy recipe compared to the packager. Not too much different, honestly. 4 pieces of iron, 3 pistons, crafting table, and one of the redstone reception coils. The system already knew how to make everything, so it was just a matter of, reprogramming the packager blank pattern to be the auto packager from the auto packager mod. Now these operate slightly different than the auto packager, as I was saying. Instead of piping directly into the auto packager, it actually reads from left to right a chest that is set down beside it. So if you are going to have the auto packagers, you also have to have chests set up. So what we're going to do, instead of having this set up here, we're going to, this episode, rework this area, and we're going to start right here. We are going to throw down our chest, and then we are going to throw down our auto packager and another chest, and we will continue that pattern. Now keep in mind, guys, that regular chests, if they are set down next to each other, they will connect. The nice thing about upgrading the chests to iron chests is not only do you get an extra row of storage, or an extra couple of rows of storage, it almost acts like a double chest in and of itself, but you can set 2 of them next to each other and they will not connect. So like I said, unlike the regular chests where if you were to set them down, that would be problematic. If you set them down next to each other and it became a double chest connected, because when we put down this auto packager here, it will put out the blocks into this iron chest, or into this double chest if these were regular chests, and this auto packager here would get gummed up because it would be trying to pull the block out of the double chest and put it through. Well, you can't compress a block of ore any more than what it already is, so that will not work. However, the other great thing about these auto packagers is, again, we were talking about those bearings being made from the tin ingots, because it was processing those ingots in a 2x2 crafting pattern instead of a 3x3. Well, if we take a look, we have a mode on the auto packager. Right now its current mode is 2x2, then 3x3, and we can find out the mode simply by right-clicking on each of the packagers. However, if we shift right-click, you can go through all the different modes, and as you can see, we have 2x2, then 3x3, 2x2 only, 3x3 only, or 3x3 hollow. So you could effectively, fill this left chest up, because remember, it reads from left to right. It always pulls from the left, always outputs to the right. You could put a bunch of cobblestone in the left-hand chest and put it in 3x3 hollow mode, and it will make just a constant supply of furnaces, or chests with wooden planks. But what we're going to do is we are going to set this to 3x3 output only. So that way it will not take the tin and process it and start making a whole bunch of those stupid, you know, bearings that were being such a pain in the rear. So for the rest of this, we're just going to set it up very similar to what we had before. We will just keep coming this way, and every time we set them down, we will make sure that they go into 3x3 mode only. And we might have to figure something out for room here, because this obviously does take up a little bit more room than our previous setup. However, this is going to be far more beneficial to us than having to deal with most, if not all, of our tin being turned into bearings, which is less than ideal for us. So there we go, everything's all set up. Now we can just come along here and we can set up all of our chests. There we go, looking good so far. Oops. Got a little bit overzealous with the clicking. That's okay. So like that. And not like that. Like that. There we go. Alright, so now that we have this all set up, we're going to have to rework this system just ever so slightly. So let us go ahead and we are going to rip apart all of this conduit up here, which means that we will have to get all of our ingots back again so that we can start putting them through the system. That means that we're going to have to let the system run for a little bit. So while we're doing this, let's go ahead and flip on the system here and start getting some more ores in here to get processed up. There we go. And everything's looking good there. There's a ton of copper coming in. We've got some nickel coming in now. And some iron. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that sword off. Turn that sword off. As well as that one, just so that, you know, everything kind of stacks up on top of itself. And it will process multiple things at once. We'll leave this sword on so that, you know, it can go ahead and process everything as fast as possible. So there we go, we are starting to get our ores back. Over here we're just going to simply right click that filter to remove it. There we go, now we've got all of our I can't talk today, guys. We have all of our filters. Okay, I was like, what's going on over here? But it's our pulverizer pulverizing some dense coal. Alright, so from here, we check the weather to find out what's going on with that, because, you know, thunder is not our friend. So now, let us go ahead and we are going to rerun all of this conduit right along here. And remember, this is going to be the output here, so that's why we're doing this now. We do not want this to connect, so we are going to disconnect that right there, and we're going to run this straight over here, and these are going to be our inputs. So we do want it to connect there. However, we do not want it to connect there or there. I'm sorry. How about there? There we go, because again, these here are going to be our outputs. And we'll have to get a few more item ducts, and that's fine. But we are going to make sure that all of these are separated. Just like that. Let's go grab ourselves some more item ducts. We should have some more in here. Oh yeah. Plenty of them. So now we can just come along the top of these chests right here. That's good, and connect that up just like that. So now, we do have most of the ingots that, you know, we had before. We are missing one of them. As you can see, we have 3 there, and we have our 7 here. You know, that gives us 10, but we had 12 of them. And I am trying to remember exactly which one it is. Oh, found it. It's going to be tin. That was quick and painless. Right there. There's our tin for our 11th. And our 12th, I'm not too sure about it at this point in time. We laid down 12 of those other packagers, but you know, we only have 11 types of ingots that we were packaging, so not exactly sure what's going on there. But we are just going to go ahead and we are going to put our filters on all of our inputs, just like that. There we go. And let's try and be smart about this. We want to whitelist aluminum here. We want to use the ore dictionary, and we want to use metadata. Ignore metadata and NBT. So that should allow everything that's aluminum to go in there. Let's do the same thing with copper, even though the only thing coming out should be the mechanism copper. We want to make sure that we use the ore dictionary, just in case any other type of copper gets thrown in there. You know, it is processed properly. So there's our copper. Let's go ahead and throw our draconium ore in there. There shouldn't be anything else that, you know, comes across as draconium ore, but just in case, we will set it up that way. And we will get our ferrous, use ore dictionary just in case any nickel gets in there. And now we've got our iron. We will ore dictionary that as well. Turn off NBT and metadata. Come on, get with it, Red. There's our iron. Got tin there, ferrous there, iron. Let's go ahead and do our gold here. And actually, you know what? Just for you OCD people, I'm going to switch these around. There you go. FGHI. I'll just try and keep these in alphabetical order here for, I said, all you people that have OCD. I'm sure a lot of you were like, Red, you missed gold. That's next in the alphabet. Yeah, alright. There you go. That's taken care of now. Now we will go ahead and drop the lead. We'll get the lead out. Jokes for days. We'll get the osmium. We will get our shiny. Or silver. And last but not least, we will come over here and we will, there we go, whitelist our tin. So cool, everything is all set up there now. So now all we have to do is take our skystone chest, because I removed the stone chest from up here, just so that nothing would be getting in our way or butting us. And if we place that down, now stuff should start getting exported again. Yep, there it is. As we can see, it's going to come down here and make its way to the appropriate. That's not what we wanted to see. We want to set this to a whitelist. And why is copper going in there? Okay, well, so that happened. We just learned a valuable lesson. We do want to use NBT and we do want to use metadata, because it is saying that, hey, all of this ore is exactly identical, and it is not. So we're going to have a little bit of house cleaning to do. That's fine. That's why we test things. And that's why we also don't have the, packagers running as of yet. So we will pull out this aluminum. Pull out all of this copper. And this tin. We'll check the other chests here real quick, just to make sure that everything is copacetic or cold spagetic. Let's go ahead and try to clear out our inventory a little bit here. There we go. Grab all of the copper ingots out of there. You know what? We're going to grab the lead. Oh, lead does belong in there. Okay. That's fine. It's always better to double check than to assume. Because again, we don't want to jam up this system. So there we go. Everything is looking good so far. You might be noticing that, well, nothing's happening. You may be like, Red, what's going on? You know, why is nothing happening? That is unfortunately the downside of these auto packagers. They require power. So let's go ahead and hop down into our Ender mini form. And we will just run a line back here. And how do we want to run this line? I think we're just going to run right here. Yep, because there's our power line there, which is actually directly under the other packagers here. So that is a bonus. That helps us out quite a bit. We'll replace that one there. And let's just go ahead and we will pull up these power lines. Come on. Ender mini form doesn't like these conduits sometime. There we go. Now we can run our power lines up here, like so. And we will run this power line over here. Let's hop up here real quick. And we will just, oop, come on now, work with me. There we go. Drop that power line down like that. Now they have power. Everything is good to go, and we should start seeing blocks coming into the other side. How about that, huh? And if we come over here and we look at the tin, remember we were starting to get some tin into this chest here, because this is going to be our tin chest. And before we were having problems with those Bearings, I'll look at that. Not anymore. We have blocks of tin every time because these are set up to only do 3x3. I told you guys I would figure out a solution to that issue we were having, and I have done just that. So, let's go ahead and clean up our floor a little bit here. Make things look a little nice and tidy. Excellent. We now have our servos that we have to put on. And for this, I believe all we're going to do is, you know what? We're going to just do another up and over. We will place that one there, and we will place that one there, that one there, and that one there. And now we can make sure that that is not connected to that chest. And I really don't think we're going to need the signalum filter for the tin gear bushing or the empty canister because, well, these guys are going to take care of it. So we can go ahead and remove that filter. Let's go ahead and put an item duct up there. We can actually set this to an empty blacklist now. And in fact, we can actually, again, get rid of that filter altogether because, again, all we were trying to do was filter out those bearings and everything, but those are no longer going to be a problem. Now we can reach as far as we can, and we will enable there, and there, and there, just so that it can start pulling any items that may be in here out. And of course it's going to want to put it there. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes along here and tries to put stuff in here, but it didn't. Good. I'm glad it was smart about it. Yeah, these aren't being too bright, but they'll sort themselves out here in a moment. There we go. I'll just start, you know, pulling everything out and putting it through our unifier here, which will then get sucked out by our import bus. And here comes our copper ore again, or copper blocks rather. There we go, and now we can see, you know, everything finding its way where it needs to be. This chest should be getting, you know, pretty emptied out, or not. It's again one of those, you know, we are getting quite a bit of material that needs to be processed, and these are not necessarily the best ductwork for us to use. We will eventually get that upgraded, but there we go, guys. That little snag that we ran into last episode has now been corrected. You know, we don't have to worry about that anymore, and we do have a little bit more room up here that we could probably throw one more line down if we had to. I really don't think we're going to have to, though. Sure, we have you know, one more empty spot here. If we take a look, you know, we have our diamonds that, you know, we could potentially throw in there, you know, to get those ground up. We have a few other things that it's quite possible. Miner's Delight, you don't belong in there. You are going to actually get... I swore I had a trash can around here for this stuff. Well, I will work on that for next episode. Getting a trash can set up and As we can see, we're getting some R node type stuff in here as well. So obviously, you know, the Ender Quarry found a R node there in the deep dark, which it destroyed. But other than that, like I said, guys, this is pretty much a completed build here. Just a few odds and ends we may end up having to put together. Next episode, we will work on completely wrapping this up and finalizing it, so that, you know, we have, you know, our lapis and our redstone being processed, and some of the stuff that's coming in here and cluttering up the system, like this granite. You know, we will just go ahead and we will start voiding that, because I don't see myself using it. And, you know, other stuff like obsidian we'll keep around, sand, which we shouldn't get too much of, you know, stuff like that we may just end up voiding as well. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this episode, make sure that you hit that like button down below. Also, don't forget to leave a comment and or subscribe if you like what I'm doing here. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell icon right next to the subscribe button. It'll let you know when new content is out. Also, don't forget to check me out on Twitter. It's at IrishRedGaming, or over on Facebook.com/IrishRedGaming. And until the next time, guys, I hope you have a great day, and I will definitely talk to you in the next video. See ya.